Welcome to the Widowed Mom Podcast, episode 271, The And of Dating Again as a Widow.
Welcome to the Widowed Mom Podcast, the only podcast that offers a proven process to help you work through your grief, to grow, evolve, and create a future you can truly look forward to. Here's your host, Master Certified Life Coach, Grief Expert, Widow, and Mom, Krista St-Germain.
Hey there, welcome to another episode of the podcast. We're going to talk about dating again. I realized I haven't talked about dating again in a while. So before we jump into that, I will tell you, it is hot here. It's probably hot where you are too, but it is hot here. And I'm actually loving it because I have a pool. It's an expensive pool. I don't love that part, but I do love sitting out in the pool. And I've done such a good job this summer of making time to actively pursue pleasure in the way of getting in the pool. I didn't do that the first year I lived here. I didn't get in the pool one time. So it's something I've been really working on. I want to encourage you to work on it too. Where can you create pleasure for yourself in the summer? Where can you give yourself permission to experience more pleasure that maybe you aren't? What could that look like for you? And a little disclaimer before we start this episode. You'll typically hear me say spouse, probably in this one, but I just want you to know that I really don't mean just spouse. I mean your partner, your person, your human. It doesn't matter to me if you were married. It doesn't matter how you identified as, whatever labels you give it, your person. Okay. So even when I say spouse in this episode, just let that be your person. All right. And if you like this episode of the podcast, you might want to go back and listen to How to Know If You're Ready to Date Again, which is episode 42. And if you're having issues where your kids might not be approving of you dating, or you anticipate that might happen, even if your children are grown and you have grandchildren, this happens too, then you might go listen to episode 92, which is called Dating When Kids Don't Approve. But in this one, what I wanted to talk about is the and of dating. I get a little mad when people suggest false binaries in the dating experience of widows, especially when they haven't been through it and they aren't one. Wouldn't it be nice if it was just so cut and dried that you just reach this point in your grief and you know exactly where it is, and poof, like you're ready to date. And it's not complicated or messy or emotionally up and down, right? It's just this nice, clean, drama-free, only positive experience. But that is not the way that it is. That is not what it is like to lose someone you care deeply for and then put yourself back in the arena and let yourself be open to the idea of loving someone else. It's just not the way it works. It's not the way grief isn't. So I'm doing this episode because I really want to give you permission to think about embracing the and in dating and what that might look like for you. I also did an episode called And the Most Powerful Word in Grief, and that was episode 261. It was pretty recent. And that's what's got it on my mind here, is how can we embrace the and in grief? And so I have 20 ands for you for dating. And I also want to say, before I get into the ands, that I speak from experience here. I waited to date, not that my way is better or right or wrong. I just waited to date until I was several years in, until I felt like I really did love my life and I was happy with myself, and dating and being in a relationship felt like a nice to have for me. Didn't feel like something I needed. I didn't feel like there was a deficit in my life without it. I didn't actually believe that my life would be better with it. I just got to a place where I wanted it. And also I was okay not having it. And that's when I started dating again. And even then, the secondary losses keep coming. The secondary losses keep coming. And by that, I mean, right, the primary loss is the loss of your person, their actual death. The secondary loss is all the losses that happened because of the primary loss. So to give some examples from my own life, right? Hugo and I absolutely loved going to Cirque du Soleil shows. And of course, as a French Canadian, Cirque is a French Canadian company. And so he had followed Cirque for way longer than me and kind of got me really into it. And that was one of our things, was to go to Cirque du Soleil shows. And so to then go with my now current partner to a Cirque show is a mixed experience for me. It's very bittersweet. It's an and. I enjoy going with him and I miss Hugo when I'm there. Both exist. Both happen. The sadness, that pang that I feel when I go and Hugo's not there, that is a secondary loss. And also, I'm glad to be there with my current partner. That's what I'm talking about. The same thing happens when I go to the cabin, right? My dad's cabin. It was one of Hugo's very favorite places to be. We had been there only a few weeks before he died, hiking a 14er, and he loved it there. And we have lots of memories together going there, and trails we've hiked and things we've done, and, you know, getting the Durango muddy and getting caught in rainstorms and like all the things. And now I take my current partner, right? And there's an and. I enjoy it with him. And I miss Hugo not being there. Even just wondering what Hugo would think about the world today, right? The conversations that we would have and how different they are from the conversations that my current partner and I have. My brain compares. It's okay if our brains compare. I can be present in my conversation with him and also imagine what it would be like to talk about the same issues with Hugo. It's okay to have that and. So those are some examples from my life. I want to give you 20 ands for your consideration. If you are dating again, if someday you want to date again, and I hope they help you. So here we go. You can be excited about a first date and still miss the comfort of your old routines together. You can enjoy the butterflies of a new romance and still feel loyal to your late spouse. You can look forward to new adventures and cherish the memories of past ones. You can appreciate someone's new approach to romance and still grieve the ways that your spouse showed love. You can be grateful for a new partner's understanding and still feel sad that they never met your person. You can laugh at a new joke and still feel a pang for the laughter that you shared with your late partner. You can enjoy a new relationship's excitement and still wear your wedding ring if you choose. You can feel hopeful about the future and still honor the anniversary of your spouse's death. If you remarry, you can honor your anniversary with your current partner and with your last. You can introduce your children to someone new and keep the memory of their other parent alive. You can plan a trip with a new love interest and still revisit places that hold special memories with your spouse. You can imagine a future with someone new and still keep pictures of your spouse around your home. You can enjoy the comfort of being held by someone new and still treasure the feeling of your spouse's embrace. You can build a new life with someone and still visit your spouse's grave to share your progress and your feelings. You can enjoy Valentine's Day or other holidays with a new partner and still reflect on past Valentine's Days or other holidays with your spouse. You can feel loved again and still miss the unique way your spouse loved you. You can discuss plans and dreams with a new partner and still feel the weight of unfulfilled dreams that you had with your spouse. You can appreciate new traditions you create and still carry on some of the traditions you had with your spouse. You can fall in love again and still feel a deep connection to your late spouse. You can commit to someone new and still feel like part of you belongs with your late spouse. And lastly, you can receive support from a new partner during tough days and still wish your spouse were there to comfort you. Using the word "and" is such a gift. It helps us make space for the human experience that we are having. Sometimes we get so caught up because we think it's supposed to go one way and then we experience it as another and we give ourselves a hard time for that, or we don't allow it to be what it is. And I want to encourage that if you're dating or if you think about dating again, you give yourself permission to use "and," to find it, to allow for it. I hope that helps you. All right, that's what I have for you. Remember, I love you. You've got this. Take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. If you like what you've been hearing on this podcast and want to create a future you can truly get excited about even after the loss of your spouse, I invite you to join my Mom Goes On coaching program. It's small group coaching just for widowed moms like you, where I'll help you figure out what's holding you back and give you the tools and support you need so you can move forward with confidence. Please don't settle for a new normal that's less than what you deserve. Go to coachingwithkrista.com and click Work With Me for details and next steps. I can't wait to meet you.